Hey you guys, it's Gemstone from www.debutingspirit.com. I hope you guys are doing really well. Today I'm doing the video for the free mini readings that I was offering in celebration of reaching 1,000 subscribers. I'm really sorry for those of you that didn't make the deadline. I couldn't keep on for too long because I knew like quite a lot of readings would come through, and in the end 26 readings came through, like questions came through. So yeah, something that I've done to make it a bit easier to find your reading is that I've done it in alphabetical order. So you can click on the letter at the bottom in the timeline that your name or your username begins with, and then it will take you directly to where your reading is in the video. Now, the only thing about that is I didn't do it like in alphabetical order in terms of, let's say, if there's 4 people whose username begins with T, I didn't therefore like go to the next letter and do it like that way, because then it just is too meticulous, takes too long. So but in most instances that didn't really happen, so it might just be that you might have to sift through some readings if that's the case, but it still won't be that many. But yes, another thing that I always say, like before I do any readings for anyone, is I always want people to know that tarot can tell you what is coming up, it can give you the choices, but at the end of the day it's your decision about what you do in your life. Like, to me, the card shouldn't dictate what you feel is right within yourself to do, and so know that nothing, is set in stone. You have freedom of choice, you have free will. So this is just as a guide to you, basically. And but I always believe that at the end of the day it's you that has to make the right decision for you. I just want to put that out there before I begin. Now, the first person who I'm going to begin with is the person who their username was beginning with some numbers instead of letters. So you'll be the first, which is 232 Boris. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm just using my phone to find your question. So your question was, will I be together with Alex before the end of this year? Now, I'm using a number of different decks as well. That's something I should have made clear too. I'm using 6 different decks. I'm using the Soul Coaching Oracle cards by Denise Lynn. I'm using the Angel Therapy deck, and I'm also using the Love Whispers deck, the Paulina Tarot. This one I've forgotten the name. I just took out the box and I can't remember the name of it, but it's another Denise Lynn deck, and the Psychic Tarot Oracle cards. Now let me begin with the first deck, because I know it's going to take quite some time. Now it's 232 Doris. Now with your reading, I had to remake the video because the video kind of went crazy, but your question was, will I be together with Alex before the end of this year? And I picked a card from the Love Whispers deck for you, and it says get to know each other. And I picked a Paulina Tarot card for you, which is the 3 of Wands. Now, what I'm seeing with these cards together is that it's saying that it might have been a case where you're wanting to be with this person, but it's almost like you're seeking them from afar. Like, maybe you're feeling quite a lot of feelings, but maybe you're not really communicating it to this person at this time. This card, especially the 3 of Wands, makes me think that the 2 of you could be at a distance from each other. It may not necessarily mean a physical distance, which it could be too, but it could mean that you're somewhere, but you're really desiring this other person, thinking about where they are and what they're doing, and it's almost like you set your dreams upon being with this individual. But at the same time, what I see with this get to know each other card is that it's saying that maybe things in the relationship was either progressing too fast or you wanted them to go too quickly, and maybe because you were just excited and you just wanted things to go to the next phase. But it's saying that things maybe were too rushed, and maybe the 2 of you should have taken your time a bit more on get to know each other a bit better. What I'm really sensing here is that it's saying that there is potential for the two of you. There could be a stable relationship here between the two of you, but it's saying that you need to be able to do the work on the relationship. It's going to take some time for you to really get to know each other, for the relationship to really come together. So I would say that start off with almost like having a friendship and then building something more, because I think a friendship, or even if you're just dating but you're just keeping things maybe a bit light, you're not getting too hot and heavy too soon, that can be a really good way of still sort of getting to know the person, still like having time to understand them, where they're coming from, for them to understand where you're coming from, and then you can kind of build that way. So my advice would be, don't go too fast. There is potential for this relationship, but I would say take your time with it. I do feel that there can be a sense of progression. There can be a case of the two of you creating something new between yourselves. So yeah, with that being said, just take your time with things, but there is potential for the two of you getting back together with these cards that I see here for you. Now, I'm gonna move on to the next person, who is Claire Blythe Lane. Now, another thing I have to say, I'm so sorry if I get names wrong, because that can happen with me, because I'm not the best when it comes to names and everything else, like pronunciations of certain things. So I apologize in advance to you. So let me find you, Claire. Find your question, that is. So Clear. Here we go. Hello, thank you so much for this and for giving up your time to give readings on YouTube. I look forward to your readings as they do put me up. Thank you so very much. That's so sweet. I'm a Capricorn and have yet to meet the love of my life. Is there anyone at all you can tell me about my Is there anything at all you can tell me about my next long-term partnership? Anything at all, whether it is when, where we'll meet, his personality, what he looks like, anything. Thank you again. The cards that I selected for you is this one, which was from the Love Whispers deck, and the one that showed up for you is Spiritual Connection, which is I like, nice card, and this card from the Psychic Tarot deck, which is would be the Six of Wands in not Wands, Pentacles, in the traditional tarot, but this one is material and spiritual prosperity. Now, what I see for these two cards is the next person that is coming into your life could be someone that is quite stable financially. This could be someone that has it could even be someone that has a bit like of an advanced position in terms of work, even compared to yourself. But what I see here is this person could be a person that is very like a caretaker, somebody that really wants to take care of you, and it's probably going to be more in a physical way, more in the things that maybe he buys you, the things that he does for you, will almost be his way of showing that he cares. But what I see here with this Spiritual Connections card is that it's saying that this is likely to be a soulmate relationship, a soulmate partnership. But the thing about that is, you should probably check out my Twin Flames video, soulmate and twin flame video that I made like quite a while back, if you haven't seen it already. Now, the reason why I say that is because in that video I talk about these kind of relationships, because so many people, especially when you're a reader, they ask you, when will I meet my soulmate? And people tend to think that soulmate relationships are just these relationships where everything is just smooth sailing because you love each other and all this other stuff. But the thing about those relationships is that there's a karmic connection between the two of you. And soulmates come into your life for the purpose of teaching you lessons, and these lessons are not always bad things, but it's something that you have to learn at this time in your life. And as well as this person can come into your life and they can be really loving, and the relationship can be really great, which, to be honest, when I look at these cards, I think that this relationship is gonna be a good relationship. It's gonna be a harmonious one. But at the same time, these relationships, they can also take work, because of the fact that there is something that you have to learn from this other person. So it means it's a case of learning how to complement each other, because you do but on the surface there can be other things that get in the way, and it's almost like the two of you have to learn to go get past those things. But I feel like it's saying that when you meet this person, it's almost like this can be the beginning of something that does have a future. It can be the beginning of a stable relationship between the two of you. And I like that at the bottom of the spiritual cards it says this relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. So the two of you are definitely, it's almost like going to be like a fate and destiny kind of union between you. And I feel like it's going to be a really beautiful sort of balanced kind of harmonious relationship if you guys can just sort of understand where each other is coming from on a soul level and know why the two of you have been drawn together at this time in your life. um so yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing in terms of a partnership. It's something that is going to be good for you either way, and there's definitely a sense of optimism. Like I see the sun in this picture. The sun is usually, it's a positive omen no matter like what the reading is concerning. So those were your cards, Claire. And now I'm going to be moving on to chocolate cake and your question. So let me find your question on my phone. And it is, okay. Hi, I love your readings always, and they're always very clear. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would love a mini reading. My question is, when will I find a man? Now, it's a bit tricky when people ask questions like that, because there's always an opportunity to find a man. Like there's always an opportunity to find a guy, but obviously you want to find somebody that is right for you and stuff. And sometimes the cards will always show you the message that you need, and a lot of the time not necessarily the message that you want. And your cards are not really showing a man per se, but what your cards is showing is that um this is a time where you have to take time out for yourself. And the cards that came up for you is 9, which is solitude, and the other card, which is from the Love Whispers deck. The first one was from the Psychic Tarot. This one is love who you are, and the description at the bottom says you are divine and a wonderful person deserving all the wonderful things that life has to offer. So what I'm seeing here is that what the tarot wants to tell you, girl, is that this really isn't the time for a man right now. I know you might not want to hear that, but that's what it's saying. It's saying that this is a time for you. This is the time where you need to sort of just work on yourself and be able to love yourself and honor yourself. And to be honest, these messages are not always what people want to hear, but a lot of the time they offer the best kind of wisdom for you at this time right now, because it's saying that this is a time for you to prepare yourself for a relationship. This is the time for you to be able to seek maybe time for yourself. You may be spending a lot of time alone with the solitude card. You may be spending plenty of time by yourself, but what it is, which is good, is that she's holding a book. So it's saying that this time that you're spending alone, you're learning a lot of things. You're coming across a lot of things. You're gaining a lot of wisdom. And the wisdom can be that things have been challenging for you in the past. Things may have been difficult, but this is your time or your chance to be able to kind of almost heal the things from the past that were trying, that were hard, and for you to kind of gain the insight that those experiences gave to you to prepare you for somebody that can come into your life later on down the road. So the work that you do now is really going to be beneficial in terms of just getting you ready for another relationship, and that relationship will be even better than what you've had in the past, because of this chance that you've given yourself to sort of be by yourself and kind of just work on yourself, what it is that you need as a person, and to sort of fill up your own cup before giving on to somebody else, which is really important for you to give yourself that time. And especially with this other card, the Love Whispers card, which is love yourself, love who you are, is it saying that again you have to build that relationship with self. And even what I see here, which I like, is there's a ship, if you can see, that is on water. And so this might even be a time, like, to me the ship could be about you learning and learning new things. It also can be you exploring new environments, you developing yourself in that way, being a more well-rounded person because of the new experiences that you bring into your own life, like travel. Or even if you can't even necessarily travel and go someplace else, it can be just I don't know, learning about different cultures or different environments and stuff like that, connecting in that kind of way. But what I'm definitely seeing for you is that there have been some difficulties, maybe in relationships. That's what I'm really sensing in these cards. There was difficulties in the past, and maybe right now you want a relationship so that almost like those difficulties won't maybe bother you so much, because then you can feel like, well, I'm moving on with somebody new. But this isn't really the best time to move on to someone new. This is more a situation where you have to kind of just take a bit of time out for you, and and just develop yourself. So yes, those are the cards for you, chocolate cake. And then I'm going to be moving on to Cat Lewis. And we're gonna see, okay, what is your question, Cat? Okay. Okay, it says says my life is finally improving after many years of struggle. I can't think of a specific question, so a general guidance card would be lovely. Okay, Kat, so let's see. I decided to pick the two Denise Lindex for you, Soul Coaching Oracle card, and this one that I can't really remember right now. And your cards were Awakening. I am joyously awake and aware and ready for anything, and planting seeds. Seeds of grace are being planted in the fertile soil of my soul. So what I'm seeing for these cards is definitely this great sense of positivity that is surrounding you and right now in your life. And I can sense that there is this great sense of being, and especially with the awakening card, it's showing that maybe even on a spiritual level you're really developing, you're really gaining a greater sense of happiness and joy in your life, maybe even a greater sense of freedom. And with the planting seeds card, it's almost like it's saying that right now is the best time for you to be nurturing something, nurturing relationships, nurturing yourself. Now is the time of creation almost for you. So this is a very fertile time for you. So if there is something that you want to develop for yourself, it's saying now is the best time to start those roots. So if there is any interest that you have specifically, if there is a business you want to start, if there is something that you dream of doing for yourself, now is the best time, because I feel like now is not only is the universe saying that it's going to support you in these things that you want to create, but it's almost like these cards are saying that your vibration is really is more positive right now. You're of a higher vibration, so you can connect really positive things to you at this time. So this is the most like the optimum time to just start something that is really great for yourself. So there you go. Kat, I hope this was beneficial to you, and I'll move on to the next person, who is Danielle Anderson. So let me find your question, Danielle, and we'll go from there. So Danielle, oh, okay, it says, hi Gemstone, Miss Virgo lady. Congrats on having 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. And it says, woo! Recently, I have lost my job. I would like to know when I will start working again. Thank you as always. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Danielle, because I know that that can be definitely rough. So I'm going to pick a psychic tarot card for you. Okay, here we go. And maybe I'll pick a soul coaching oracle card as an advice card, and plus it has a really positive energy to this deck, which I think is really beneficial for for this kind of thing. So okay. Oh, I like that already. Oh, it says rest and rejuvenate. That's the card that you got for the from the Psychic Tarot. And then the second card is believe. The best is yet to come. So what I'm seeing for you here, because your question was, I'd like to know when I will start working again. Now, like I tell people before, sometimes the tarot answers your question directly, but sometimes it just shows you the best thing for you to do right now at this time. And it might be saying that even though money I can definitely get is like a priority, and you have to be out there earning and stuff to, you know, make your way, but it's saying right now this is a time of rest and rejuvenation for you. It's almost like, do you know what is this these cards remind me of? Is at one point I went through an experience, and I don't want this reading to become about myself. Usually I don't really speak about myself, but I'm just sort of using this as an example that sometimes something can happen in your life and you don't understand why you had to lose that job or why things turned out maybe the way they did. But sometimes it's because there is something else that spirit wants you to focus on at this time. So maybe that job had to be released in order for you to direct your attentions onto another aspect of your life, or something else that needed to be attended to at this time. And the fact that the rest and rejuvenation card came up for you is probably saying that in the job you were in is probably a case where you was maybe going like a mile an hour, like trying to, like being very active at your job, really being maybe even centering a lot of your life around your work, to the point that other things probably weren't being as attended to. And so what it's saying now is this is your chance to kind of rejuvenate yourself. This can also be a card of talking about your physical health, your physical condition. It might have been that your last job was very stressful. It might have been that it took a lot for you to do. Like I really get a sense of maybe like a lot of rushing around, a lot of being busy. So it's saying now that this job isn't with you at this time, this is more of a time for you to just take a little time out for yourself, sort of regroup yourself and get yourself together. And yes, still you can apply for things and do all that kind of stuff. You know, do those things, but it's saying that take a bit more time out for yourself right now and regroup yourself. And then with the believe card, which I really like, is that it's saying that don't try not to stress too much about finding a new job, a new work position. It's saying that a new job will come along for you, but it's saying that you have to have faith. Maybe right now you're just in that mode of just being scared and being like, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna do? I haven't found anything yet, and this is that. But it's saying that you have to have a belief that you are gonna find something for you. So don't just do the practical things. Don't just apply for things, but you also have to have the belief in yourself that something is gonna come through in order for you to attract that job that you really want to have. And I really love the fact that it says at the bottom, the best is yet to come. So it's showing that something is going to come through for you. It is going to be really positive. It is going to be a good work position. And what I like too is that it has the sun, which I said just in somebody else's reading, that the sun is a positive omen for whatever question you ask. And it has the flower here, so it has this sort of blossoming and blooming, the development of something that that can come into your life. So with that being said, I do see things getting better for you, but it's saying try not to worry so much, because something good will come down the pipeline for you. So that's for you, Danielle. So now I'm going to be moving on to E more. So let me see what your question is. Emo. Okay. Okay. What messages do the angels have for me moving in 2015? Okay. Let's see what is coming up for you, in terms of moving. Let's see. So I'm going to be using the angel therapy card deck and see what is coming for you. I'll pick an angel therapy card and a Paulina tarot card, and we'll see from there. Okay, there you go. It's an interesting card. And then a Paulina card for you. Okay, what I'm seeing for you in terms of moving, the cards that came up is the crown chakra card. It's a nice one. And it says, pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to your prayers. And the other card that came for you is the Empress card. Now, what it's saying, starting with the angel therapy card, is if there's any kind of divine inspiration that comes to you in 2015 concerning you moving, it's saying that you need to go with it. It's saying that something is going to inspire you in terms of your living situation, and that is what is going to make this living situation happen. I think it's really interesting that if you look at this card, it almost looks like it could be almost like a castle, some kind of it's got pillars and everything, and it's just gravitating like up there. Do you know, when I see this card, what it really reminds me of is the book that I read, it was The Traveler's Gift. And the thing is that is interesting about The Traveler's Gift is that it says that, before something is manifested in our lives, that it exists up there in the spiritual plane. And when I look at this card, it's almost like saying that there is a property for you out there in the spiritual plane. That's where it's existing right now. And what it needs for you to bring it down into manifestation in this physical realm, for you to move into that property. So I almost feel like you are going to be divinely guided to somewhere to live. So it's probably going to happen in a really spiritual, synchronistic kind of way. Like somebody gives you a message and tells you, oh, like, this and this place is up, they're advertising like this property, like, why don't you check it out? Or it might be a case of maybe somewhere that you've seen in the past, like all of a sudden you start thinking about that place, and then something just tells you to go and check it out. So there's definitely going to be some divine hand in terms of you finding somewhere to live in 2015. And I feel like it's going to be good, because with the Empress card showing up, the Empress card speaks of like nice surroundings, nice places. You might even be the kind of person that likes to surround yourself in really nice things. But what it is about the Empress as well is she births new creations. And so in the fact that she births new creations, it's saying that there can be an opportunity for you to find somewhere, but it's gonna take for you to take the time and take the effort and everything to bring it into creation. Because the Empress is almost like, the mother that is pregnant with the baby, and she has to obviously nurture her body, nurture herself, for the baby to, be birthed, to come into form. So what it's saying is that, like I said, in the astral planes, it's almost like the angels are telling you that, this property exists up here in the spiritual realm, but you need to give birth to, you have to bring it down. So in bringing it down, then you can bring it into form. So I really get the impression with you that you probably are a very spiritual person anyway, and I almost sense that you are probably the type of person that is doing maybe the spiritual things to be able to bring it into form. Maybe you are practicing the law of attraction and those kind of things to find a property already. It's saying keep on doing that work, but I always believe in, on top of doing the spiritual work, also keep on doing the physical work to bring it into form and to bring what you want into creation. 2015 for you, I feel like, is going to be a time where you can bring things into creation for you, and you can experience a sense of abundance too. So keep up with the good work, keep up with the spiritual works, and something will definitely come through for you in terms of a living situation. So thank you. I'm going to be moving on to the next person, who is, oh, my cards are falling everywhere. And because it's moving into 30 minutes, I think I will cut this video off for now, and then I'll create another video. So I'll see you guys. Bye.